I'm Mr. Reinhardt. If you don't know me already, I'd love to get to know you. The new assistant band director for this season is Miss Letterborough right here in the middle. She's filming, so she can't talk to you right now. We're just going to go over so that we're all on the same page, not because I want to, but I mean I do want to, but the district also mandates that we are all on the same page as we start the season together. There's a bunch of restrictions that are non-optional. You can have your opinion about whether you like masks or whether we all should be wearing them, but we're going to be wearing them. That's just how it's going to be. We've been told very clearly by the district that if we don't follow the regulations that the district have laid out, we're shut down. Like, just, there's no warning, okay? So it's not optional, like this is what's going to happen. And so I just want to roll through a couple of those. I want you to know, I take this very seriously. I've spent crazy amounts of time this summer, and your board, the booster board, can back me up because I've reported to them repeatedly throughout this summer, reading and studying and reading all the reports that are out and reading all the documents that the district has and all the documents that PIAA has and all the documents that, you know, I've gone to meetings for this region for band directors. We have tried our hardest to make this as easy and painless for everyone as we can be, okay? We are going to, when you show up in the morning or in the afternoon, whenever we have practices, you will go through a similar process that you just experienced right now. You will arrive with a mask on, you will be 6 feet apart from each other, we'll be in a line, you'll go through and we'll take your temperature, we'll ask you all of those questions. That'll happen at every rehearsal, at every performance, should we get there. Every time we get together, that's going to happen. If you are driving a trailer, I'm checking you in. Like, anytime anyone is part of any activity, that's going to happen, okay? It's going to take us a little longer to get ready to do anything because we have to go through that process every time, okay? Prepare for that, plan for that. Don't show up without a mask. Don't say I forgot, okay? You have to have one. We also, the boosters are gonna have some masks for you. We'll distribute those at a later time, but if you can show up for the first day of practice with one, that'd be super helpful. There's a whole mess of cleaning restrictions. The easiest thing, after talking with Mr. Flickner this morning, unless you play something ginormous, if you just take your instrument home, you save us a ton of extra stuff that we don't have to do at the end of every rehearsal, particularly in this next week when our rehearsals are only allowed to be 2 hours long. If we don't have to spend another hour afterwards doing cleaning of instruments, that'd be awesome. So particularly flute, clarinet, saxes, trumpets, trombones, if you just take your instrument home, we understand bass drums, all the percussion stuff, tubas, whatever, you can't do that. We get that, and we'll work with you there. But everybody else, if you just take it home, because we need you to practice anyway, and then you bring it back, and that saves us a whole mess of things that we have to do. If you are sick, if your student is sick, if you have a fever, if you have you've been sick all night long, first of all, this should have been the case before any of this happened. Don't send them, okay? Like, we don't want to be around sick kids anyway, whether it's a cold or a flu. Like, I like being healthy and I'd like to remain so, regardless of what it is. So that should be the case anyway, but I'm saying it out loud. If your student or you personally are sick, just don't come. Send us a message and say, sick today. Okay, awesome. Okay, we would rather you stay home than you show up and us go through the process and you have 100.4 temperature and I have to put you in a room and then retest you and then retest you and then I have to call Mr. White and Mr. Flickner and I have to call parents and then we have to get you home. It's a lot of rigmarole that we don't need to do, right? If you're not feeling well, just don't show up, okay? Right now, all of our practices have to be outside. We are over, our band numbers are over the 25 limit. We can't practice inside, which means if it's a rainy day, we're not practicing, okay? We are at the mercy of the weather. And so I want to stress to you how important our Facebook group is and how important the Remind app is. We need to get word out about whether practice is going to be canceled or not. Right now, we are planning to practice Monday morning. Okay, we put that word out that we're planning to practice Monday morning. I was just telling the Wiles just a second ago. Right now, we are planning. Right now, it's supposed to rain. So, if the weather doesn't change, I know it's northwestern Pennsylvania. It could change in about an hour, but right now, if the weather doesn't change, we're not going to be practicing Monday morning. Okay, we hope we can, but we're not. I'm also not going to bank on it. All right, we are at the mercy of the weather. If it rains, if it snows, we can't practice right now. If it's a decent day, if I think I can make it work, we're going to make it work, but we have to be outside. We have to play outside. We have to march outside. Everything has to be outside right now. Okay. Our restrictions right now are limited practices via PIAA guidelines. We're not technically under them, but the district is using those as the standard that we're following, and so we're following those guidelines. So next week our practices are going to be very limited. We're looking at 3 2-hour practices. Right now we're hoping it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. From 9 to 11 is when the actual practice is. We're asking that you start showing up at 8:30 so that we can check everybody in, so that at 9 we can actually start practice. I need to use every minute that I possibly can this year. We don't have downtime, okay? We don't have extra time to mess around with. I need those 2 hours. So if you show up at 8:59, man, that's really gonna kill me, because now I have to check all those students in who are like just a minute before, or you know that some of you are gonna be a minute or two late, and my brain's gonna explode because you didn't come early. Okay, I need from 9 to 11 to actually practice. So we're hoping Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 to 11. If Monday's practice gets canceled, we're gonna do a Thursday evening practice. What did we say? 5 to 7? Mm-hmm. 5 to 7 Thursday evening. Okay, that's next week. The following week,
next week's not mandatory. The next week's mandatory.
right? Oh, right. I need to say that out loud. I need to say this out loud. Next week's practices are non-mandatory. I can't make you be there. Okay, I want you to be there. I would really like for you to be there. It would help us all out if you could be there, but I can't make you be there. They're non-mandatory practices. The following week's practices, assuming we get that far, are mandatory practices, and we will get times and dates out for you, what those look like. Face covering, social distancing. We have to do this. I know we're band people, and we form little huddles, and we talk and we giggle. Those huddles are going to have to be a whole lot bigger now to do those conversations. There won't be a whole lot of secrets, because you have to talk about 6 feet away to somebody. Okay, it's non-optional. We have to maintain that distance, particularly when we're playing. I can show you numerous reports. We produce aerosol spray. We produce air. Basically, what we do creates spittle particles coming out instruments, out the keyholes, out the mouthpieces, out the bells. There is the big study they did. They recommend 6 foot by 6 foot squares that everybody plays in. Trombones are a 6 foot by 9 foot square because their slide extends. We are going to do our best to maintain that throughout. That's for everybody's safety, yours and mine both. And so we're gonna just be a little bit more spaced out than we've ever been. Okay. I am a big high five guy. You'll remember, like, I love cheering you on. I love dishing out high fives. We cannot do that. That's a no-go. No high fives, no fist bumps. We're gonna have to go to the air high five this year, and just go that way. We're not gonna even talk about spectators, because right now that's sort of like,
we don't know.
Who knows what's going to happen from that standpoint. Water is a really important thing that I want to talk to you about. In past years, we have given you water bottles, or we've said you bring a water bottle, but we've had big coolers that we've been able to